You got me a question. Okay, let me not talk about that right now on Afreetune. Let me just not talk about that. Tinúké is it's like a little bit of everything, you know. It's full of energy, especially when it comes to the rap thing, because I like high energy beats and high energy flow. Like once you hear the beat and the rap, I want you to feel something. Like I like the energy. I like to be jumping around on stage, you know, like I like the energy. So a lot of energy, but also a little bit of everything, because I have Afro songs. I have songs where I'm talking about feelings. Like it's just like, yeah, it's like a little bit of everything, you know, but high energy. Yeah, something for everybody. What do I gravitate towards? First of all, I like to talk about feelings and mix it with. Okay, let me not talk about that right now on Afreetune. Let me just not talk about that.
It's like free play.
I know. I want to talk about mixing my feelings with the feeling of being on a drug like marijuana. The high feeling that you get when you're on drugs, like the feeling of being free. And yeah, I like to mix that a lot. Like I was talking with T before this about the song "What You Need," and that's a perfect example of a song where I was talking about emotions and drugs in the same breath. Yeah. So like sometimes I like to get vulnerable and talk about my feelings. Kubi taught me that, by the way. So shout out to Kubi. He used to inspire me and have talks with me and be like, I just need to get more vulnerable and open with myself. Like, yeah, you can be all gangster and do all the fuck you and everything, but at the end of the day, people want to get to know you and your struggles more, so I just talk about heartbreak, everything, like the regular stuff that everyone goes through, like, falling in love for the first time, being in love, your first heartbreak, crying about this, being disappointed, and just real life stuff, It was just me and my brother at the time, because we were four, but it was just me and the one after me. And it was like the moment when I realized that I had a brother. I feel like I remember that moment. Like I kind of met him. Like we were in the room, and we're just by the window in the morning, and I just felt like I just met this person. Like, okay, so I exist, and this is my brother apparently. Growing up in my house is crazy. It's like a monopoly, because I'm the only girl, so the guys always win, right? Like, let's take a vote. We're gonna take a vote, and the boys are gonna win because they're gonna, so it's like, but it was an experience. I feel like it kind of made me tough. It made me tough, it taught me a lot about life and compromise and stuff like that. And it definitely affected my fashion and just the way, my outlook on life, and everything, for sure. My style, it's very weird, like very spontaneous, I swear. Very spontaneous. A lot of the time I do put outfits together and prepare them, but majority of the time it's just random. Like I don't even plan it. It's just like, okay, I gotta go somewhere. I just throw stuff together. It's like creativity to me, So I just throw it together, and if it makes sense to me, I'm just running with it. That's it. Right. It's a mixture of everything. It's like a cocktail of everything. How I'm feeling and also where I'm going. Like, am I going to a dinner to meet someone, or am I going to the studio? So I put all that together into how I'm feeling, and and also what clothes I have available. People always want to know this. I actually do, yeah. I have dresses in my closet, and people, and that's the thing about me. I'm just like kind of an enigma, I'm kind of weird and unpredictable. I don't know if it's because I'm like Aquarius, but I don't know. Maybe in the future they might see me wearing a dress, and stuff like that. Yeah, I really feel like that. Like there's a lot of parts of me that I feel like people haven't even seen yet, but that's why I enjoy this music thing, because I feel like it makes me vulnerable as well as gives me a voice to express all the sides of me, because I feel like, speaking for myself and from my experience, I feel like human beings have different sides to them. Like people are not just one thing that people identify them, you feel me? So I dress like this, but I really do feel like being girly and wearing dresses, sometimes, so it just depends on how I feel. Not their sneakers, because they have bigger feet, but they're hoodies, they're football shirts and stuff like that. We used to play soccer together when we were kids. We're four, right? So there'll be two on that team and two on this team. So we used to do stuff like that. Growing up with my brothers it was crazy, but it was amazing. It was nice. Nope, I wasn't a great student in school, just because I wasn't motivated by school. I didn't really feel the need. I didn't see why I had to be motivated to do that. I had no real interest in it, that's why. But, yeah, if you have the interest in something, probably you excel at it and stuff, you know. Not to say that I didn't really like school or anything like that, but I just feel like everyone is good at different things, and school is definitely for a lot of people, but I don't think school is for everybody. I just feel like there needs to be more avenues for people to be able to express themselves. Even as much as they're in school, I feel like they need to also be in situations where they have the opportunity to like learn a trade or learn something that they like or anything really. I wasn't rapping in school. Yeah, be in situations where you have the opportunity to express yourself as early as possible, I think is very, very important, to be honest, because that's why I said earlier that I'm a late bloomer. I feel like I discovered this quite later in my life, which is cool because I believe in perfect timing, but at the end of the day, I mean, we could learn some stuff earlier, you feel me? Like, it will also make, give the people a chance to like perfect themselves in their craft, you know, stuff like that. Yeah, I mean, yeah, what you just asked makes sense because for sure I noticed that, like I see that, you feel me? It's like you have to fit into a certain mold or be talking about certain things or look a certain way, you know, it's kind of like easier if you look a certain way, but I look at it this way, like, that's why I said at the end of the day, it's like there's different parts to me. I could dress in different ways, but also I don't let it like cripple me. It's kind of like if there's a lot of something, like there's too much of something, the first thing that's not like the rest of the thing, the first thing that's different stands out by itself, you feel me? For example, this year alone or last year, there's a lot of artists that I look up to and I look to for like inspiration, and a lot of them were just like outstanding and they were daring to do something different. Well, recent times, off the top of my head, there's Coffee, right? The artist called Coffee. She doesn't look the typical way that a female pop star, you know, is supposed to or usually looks, but she still made it work for herself. So I really feel like music is just more. It's just more. It's more about what you have to, like how you approach it and what you have to offer, like your energy, your personal energy. You know, there's an artist like Tenny, the entertainer in Nigeria, and she doesn't really fit the typical mold of like what a female artist should look like, but she still made it work. So I just feel like, yeah, when there's a lot of something, you can just try something different. You can make anything work for you, really. It just depends on you. This is gonna sound cliche, but definitely more platforms, more platforms, more like, apart from more support, more avenues for these up and coming artists to express ourselves, you feel me? To be more out there. Because I feel like that's something in the Western world, as we always compare with, that's one thing that they have, for example, like in the US, every year or every 6 months there's a new artist a new young artist in the US, and I just feel like there's a lot more avenues and platforms for them to actually propel themselves, but here I just feel like there isn't that much platforms for us to propel to the next level. Yeah, I have an EP coming out. The first ever project I dropped was HER mixtape in 2016, and that was like my first attempt at doing music seriously, and I'm grateful that I did that because it's gotten me to this point and, you know, allowed me to meet a lot of people like T. Sangari, you know, and Kuvi and a whole bunch of people, so shout out to that. It's called Lydia's Daughter. Lydia's Daughter, it's an EP, it's gonna be like 5-6 tracks. And I'm looking at dropping it very early next year, you know, very, very early next year. Been recording the songs all year and working on a couple of visuals, you know, so that's coming up. Lydia's Daughter, basically, it's just like, just a project basically talking about my experiences and how I've been feeling and what I've been going through in the whole time since I dropped my last project, you feel me? Like basically giving people a recap of how things have been going. And Lydia is my late grandmother's name. And she basically just represents a strong West African woman who doesn't just let the rules of African society dictate like the extent of her success. Yeah, something like that. So it's like, thank you. So it's like she inspires me, you feel me? And yeah, I'm just kind of paying my dues to my grandma for inspiring my mom to inspire me to be here today. Yeah, I have a couple collaborations on the EP that I can't really speak of yet, but so far the one I can speak about is a song produced by Kuvi featuring AI. So AI is one person that's on the project. Yeah, but there's going to be more updates and more info and everything, so you guys stay tuned to Afreetune for more updates and everything. Yeah, God is a she.
Really feel like God is a sheep. I've been working on myself and now it's time to release. I've been flexing on your playlist, now it's time to repeat.
Yeah, it's just like a bold statement, you know, like just a bold statement, because I really feel like God is in me as much as I am a female. And Christianity says that God is a he, but God is in everyone, and I am a she, so therefore God is a she. A whole bunch of songs, but right now, interestingly enough, I'm listening to a lot of Afro. I don't know if it's the season or something like that, but I really like the Afro sounds coming out right now. So I'm listening to Afro because I'm just feeling vibely. But yeah, I like music in general, bro. That's crazy. You're making me shy right now. I'm trying to think about that. My first heartbreak. What?
Oh, you did the heartbreak. You know?
My first. Hold on, let me think about this. First heartbreak. I can't remember. I can't remember, man. I wouldn't even remember something like that. You feel me? But I can't really remember my first heartbreak.
You remember your first love.
First love.
You gotta remember your first love.
I know, right? Oh yeah, I do remember my first love, for sure. What would you like to know about my first love? Oh my god.
Are you like monogamy?
Afreetune coming hard with the question.
Just like free
Can we
right now?
pass? Can we pass? Can we pass on this? Like, I'm gonna get back to this question. I am straight, but I have love for everyone. I'm just gonna say it like that. I'm straight, but I have love for everyone. Like, I don't judge, you feel me? Because, I mean, you can't really tell someone how to love or who to love. Like, at the end of the day, people are just gonna be who they are, so, you feel me? That's just what I have to say about that. But, yeah, I'm all about love and positivity, you know? Great energy. Like 3 years ago. Yeah, for real. Now this is one topic I like to talk about. Well, religion is relative because anything can be a religion, right? It depends on what you make your religion that works for you. So that's why I believe in religion. But I might have a religion, but it's not the popular religion. I grew up in a Christian household, but I'm not a Christian just because. I don't know. Just a lot of ways that Christianity has been translated in recent times, it just seems very inappropriate and something very off to me. So that's why I stopped going to church. So you already know what the fuck going on. It's Tinúké. Log on to Afreetune.com to listen to more music. Tinúké, Tinúké. I just froze. Okay, let's go again.
Tried to shut us down. Now we stay on our lane, and boy, you keep me sane.